Hello Booktube, I'm Scott.
I'm Nelle.
We are Gunpowder.fiction.and.plot, and this is our weekly check-in
Friday
segment.
reads, whatever you're calling it.
The Scott and Nelle Gunpowder Plot Show. Yeah. Something, I don't know. Alright, so as always, we're going to start the video with a shout out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to shout out Amrita by the book.
Oh, yes.
She's just such a good channel. She's very thoughtful. And she has it's a real simple editing trick that she does. She has just a little coloured block that she puts up beside herself, and she puts little comments in it, and it really adds to what she's saying. But ultimately, she's such a thoughtful discusser.
Yeah, excellent word.
She's a thoughtful talkator.
A talkator. It's even better.
Yeah. I learned it good.
Her command of the English language is significantly better than Scott's. But that's not hard.
She's very thoughtful. She's very well considered. She has a podcast outside of Booktube, and it really shows in the videos that she makes. And she has these videos that she does that are like discussion videos where she thinks about an issue and just brings up the topic. And the one that she did this a few weeks ago that I really liked was she discussed women's literature, or chick lit, and how she thinks chick lit is a terrible term. And
it is a terrible term. It makes my brain hurt.
I quite liked in the comments she said, I said something to her, and she said she calls that sort of literature dick lit. And Rita is what a lot of people are calling a book omnivore as well. Doesn't really have like a genre. She just like reads books.
All the things. Yay!
All the things. So no matter who you are, there's going to be a book that you like that she does. So very much recommend her. Anyway, housekeeping. So for those of you who don't know, Nelle and I are running a Discord group, the Read Under the Bed Book Club. And our February book is The Death of Vivek Oji by Akwaeke Emezi. If you're in that Discord group, Nelle is going to post a bunch of like conversation starter or topics or questions for it.
I'm going to be active this weekend, so hopefully you guys will be too. And we can really talk about this book. I read it really early in the month, and it's still simmering in my brain. I have lots.
Some books, if you read a lot of books and you read early in the month, they just disappear. This is not one of those books, is it?
No, it is not. I feel like it's actually coloured everything I've read for the whole month. And it might do that next month too.
I think that's probably going to be my book of the month. Not that there's such a thing.
Book of the month now.
Book of the month.
Any opportunity to rank them.
Yeah, it'll get a shiny crown or something. But anyway, if you would like to participate in that book club that we have, you can join it. I'll put a link to the Discord in the notes.
And next month's book is on Black Sister Street.
But there's still time to read Akwaeke Emezi's tour de force of Vivek Oji. And
we're still arguing about what to...
We're debating what the April book should be. The other thing I'd like to acknowledge is there's been a whole bunch of comments that we haven't been able to reply to this month because YouTube is like...
super censorious. Yeah.
There's just like... Look... My American Psycho review, anybody who had anything vaguely positive to say about American Psycho, comment deleted. Kieran said he liked it, comment deleted. Barb...
I thought it was just when they named the book.
Well, Kieran named the book. That's why I told them not to name the book, because he was the first in. And then Barb said she's interested in reading the book after my review, and that got deleted too. That wasn't me, I swear it.
So YouTube's just being evil.
Yeah, YouTube is just making me look petty by deleting positive comments about that book on the review. It's not me, it's YouTube, I swear it.
You just sound so much like you're lying.
I know,
And I know you're not.
I know. But I really feel like YouTube is really going overboard on deleting comments lately.
I do feel like it's happened much more regularly the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I had a comment deleted a couple of hours ago on Emily from Noble Novels. I posted something on hers, and I'm like, what is in that?
Yeah.
Yeah. But, so YouTube, pull your head in. Oh, what did you finish reading this week, Nelle?
I finished 2 audiobooks. I finished Ring Shout, which was a carryover for me. And that was deeply satisfying.
So that's the novel where the KKK are secretly demons and somebody goes around killing them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that does sound like it will be deeply satisfying, doesn't it?
It was deeply satisfying. I was really worried that it was going to get a bit moralistic and almost victim blamey. Just with the direction it was headed, and I don't actually feel that it ended up going that way, so I was really relieved. And the ending was just as brutal as the beginning, and just, yeah, it was satisfying. It was a good read, and I will be reading more by the author.
Does what it says on the tin, on the label.
Yeah. I also learnt things about I think it's Gullah culture, which is an African tribe. I don't know where from, because it was set in America, so it was transported slaves from the Gullah tribe that I didn't know, and things about African music and things that I didn't know. So that was really interesting to me to have. I really enjoy that when it carries through the cultural references, so that those sort of things can be reignited in a modern way. I think that that's awesome. So
Can't hate a book that teaches you stuff.
yeah, and not just teaches you stuff, but like keeps those sort of cultural references alive for cultures that white people have stomped all over and tried really hard to kill.
Yeah, which is really like one of the, like, that just annoys me the most. Like, killing knowledge. Like,
Yeah,
from a privileged white person point of view.
and like killing musical references, and like anyone who's passionate about music, and
yeah.
just all those things.
Yeah. Alright, what's the other book you finished?
Pet. I finished Pet by Akwaeke Emezi, which means that I've read all the things now, and I've loved all the things.
Yeah.
Akwaeke Emezi is just the bomb diggity. Yeah. Pet is YA, so it is definitely a YA read, but it was so, like, for quite a heavy read, it was so fun.
What I thought was really interesting when I read Pet was how Akwaeke Emezi, how they used the change in genre to the advantage of their writing. Like,
I feel like Akwaeke Emezi is toying with us at this point, and is just like, this is a skill I have. Here, look at this book. And this is a skill I have. And here, look at this book. And I'm not really trying anything particularly, rigorous. I feel like give it a bit of time and all of a sudden we're going to have a magnum opus that is...
You want them to take, like,
all
a couple of years off and write a tome.
Yeah.
And just blow you away with
I feel
War
like
and Peace.
I definitely feel like that's a thing that could happen. Because everything I've read from them has had such a different flavour and such a different skill set shown.
Yeah. Although I'd be scared, some people can only write one type, whether it's short or long, but one type of novel, one type of book. But I suspect that a Quakey Amaze can do anything they put their mind to when it comes to putting words on paper.
I definitely feel that they have lots and lots of skill, but they are sticking to quite short form so far, so maybe that is their preferred
medium. I find that the short form is nice with their writing style, so maybe...
It's just, it was really good. I was stoked. Been trying to get a bunch of work stuff done, so I'm pretty stoked that I even got 2 audiobooks read.
How good are audiobooks that you can just do that?
Yeah. I feel a little bit neglectful. I'm behind on our buddy read of The Prophets, and I am really enjoying that, and I just want to dedicate a day to it. And I don't think I'm going to get to do that even this weekend, so that's a bit of a bum, but we'll see how we go.
Yeah. All right. I finished 5 books this week.
Of course you did. Because when we work hard, Scott gets to read more, not less.
It's because audiobooks just tick over, don't
yes,
they?
and you get to read more you get to spend more time reading than I do.
The Binding by Bridget Collins. Now,
I don't think we should talk about this too much because we have had a heads up that this lady may be a Turfy McTurfster. We haven't actually done the research to back up that claim, but let's just...
I have had a look at it, and I would say that she is a turf.
Right.
But...
well, let's say what you want to say and...
Well, everybody that I have seen review this book absolutely loved it, and for the life of me I could not say why that would be the case. This was the most overrated, boring book that I have read in a long time. 2 stars. Alright, the next book I finished is The Sounds of Things Falling by Juan, Gabrielle, Vasquez. This was my Colombian book for Invisible Cities. This is why the page 112 tag is a good tag, because it started out, hippos had escaped from who's that Colombian drug lord, the famous one that I can't think of the name of that everybody knows, had escaped from his ranch, and I'm like, yeah, hippos. And I really think that was the most interesting thing to happen in the entire book. It was boring, and it was really poorly written. Not only will I not read anything that Vasquez has read, it was translated, who was it translated by? By Anne McLean, and I won't read anything that Anne McLean translates or writes, because it was just so, and then he walked to the door sort of language, and it was something to do with a plane crash and a black body recording, but I just, I finished it on Wednesday, and it's Friday, and I just don't remember it. It was so utterly devoid of anything. I have nothing good to say. I don't have a lot bad to say, to be honest, other than it lacked good stuff. The next one is The Prophets. So this is a buddy read with Courtney Ferriter, and I've enjoyed what we've done with Courtney. Instead of this 4 weeks for one book, we've done 2 books in 4 weeks, 2 books each, which was totally unplanned. It's just, we just this is an impromptu buddy read. But I did not enjoy The Prophets. I don't want to bag it too much because I am
wrong.
I'm not necessarily the target audience, but my dislike for this book is completely down to Robert Jones Jr.'s writing style.
So he's wrong.
The characters meshed into one. They weren't distinct, and just the writing, it just didn't make me feel like characters did stuff that were quite dramatic, and I was like, why on earth are they doing that? And then I stopped and I thought about it, and I'm like, oh, actually, there are events leading up to that, but you didn't make me feel the emotions that should have gone along with that, and the writing was just a bit obtuse, and I really didn't enjoy the way he used language, and that is a completely personal thing.
But I can tell you, I'm far enough in to tell you that the characters certainly do differentiate from each other, and that the writing style is not flat.
All right. Yeah.
I mean, are you just having a bad week and it's all the book's fault?
I've got some positives in this week.
Okay.
But yeah, just it's not a style that sometimes a book just doesn't gel with you, and sometimes it's the writing style, and I don't believe that this is me. I thought that this was me having a bad day, and what I did is, so I technically DNF'd this book and then reread it this week. So instead of starting halfway through this book and finishing it this week, I started back at the start and I read this book this week. And just to make sure that I wasn't having a bad week, and it's not me. Maybe it is, but it's not me having a bad day. I just don't like the writing style, and it's quite a good story. It's a story about two men falling in love on a slave plantation, and there's a lot of power in that, and it's a sort of a love versus hate novel, and there's a lot more to it than that, but I don't want to.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't.
Don't want to give stuff away. But I didn't get along with the writing, and I think that if you are reading it and you get up to, an eighth or sixth of the way in and you're not enjoying the writing, then pull out, DNF, bail.
Did you finish it?
I did finish it, but okay. I probably should have just put that down and said, writing's not for me, move on to the next one. All right. The Gardener of Baghdad by Ahmed Ardalan. This is my March pick for Invisible Cities for the Iraqi novel, which I am doing early. I'm doing it early just because it was there and I can.
Who cares about when they actually get read, as long as they get read?
Yeah, that's what I kind of thought. I thought nobody is going to say that I am breaking the Invisible Cities thing by... Anyway. This is a love story between an Iraqi and a British woman. And it's set in the backdrop of... It's like a historical fiction in the backdrop of Iraq in the revolutionary time, and the Iraqis accused of being a communist, so pre-Saddam Hussein. Like, Saddam doesn't come into this novel. Themes of racism, themes of love, and themes of corruption.
Sorry, the dog's funny.
The dog is just depositing toys near me in the hope that I will throw them.
No, but he came and he took one, and then he snuck out backwards, like he was trying to hide from you that he took one of his toys back. It was cute.
Yeah, okay. This was a good book, but it wasn't a great book. It lacked that little bit of sparkle, but I think it was quite a good book, and it's definitely a worthwhile read. So I gave it 3 stars, which I always feel like the need to justify that I'm stingy with my stars, because 3 stars is a good rating. But I quite enjoyed it. Woman at Point Zero by Noelle Sowed. This was my Egyptian novel. So if you watched last week's Friday Reads, I DNF'd the Yakubian building and I needed another Egyptian novel. I DNF'd the Yakubian building because all the women in it were being described by their bottoms or their bosoms rather than their personalities. And as a result, I have now picked up a novel about a woman who is tried for murder, who was a prostitute, who talks about how men mistreat her and try to use her body no matter what she does in society, and how she tries to do different things in Egyptian society, and how no matter what, she's essentially a slave, and how society is shit to her. And I felt like that was a real appropriate
counterpoint to tits and bum.
And the difference between a male and a female writer, maybe. And it sort of even underlined the points in this novel. This was really good, and I gave it 4 stars. But I'm going to say I enjoyed this book, if enjoyed is the right word.
Yeah.
I thought that this was good literature, and I recommend this book to anybody, anybody who likes. Yeah, you heard what it sounded like. If that sounds like your sort of book, then I recommend it.
Okay.
Yeah?
I don't know if I trust any of your recommendations anymore ever.
No?
No. Feeling a bit disillusioned about your opinions.
Really?
Yeah.
I only bagged 2 books that you're liking.
It's just... yeah.
Yeah. I think you'll find that my opinions are the correct ones and that you're wrong in this case. What are you currently reading?
Prism.
Is that it?
Yep.
I'm currently reading Prism as well.
Oh, and The Prophets. I'm still reading The Prophets.
You're still reading The Prophets?
Yeah.
What are you thinking of The Prophets so far? Do you want to give it some redemption after I said I didn't like it?
It's giving me lots of Toni Morrison feels when it comes to writing style. And I like that. That's works for me.
By the way, Toni Morrison, another author that doesn't quite work for me, so you know.
You've just got bad taste. It's alright. I'm going to accept that.
And most of Booktube will now say I'm wrong after I said that I don't enjoy.
And I suspect
Morrison.
that the other reference that I'm probably missing quite a lot is Baldwin. But I actually haven't read any Baldwin, so this is yet another kick in the pants to...
There's lots of Alex Haley in it. There's lots of roots.
Well, I mean...
He has made a few references in his novels.
Yeah, so... I'm not far enough into it to really comment, but I'm really enjoying the writing style and I like the characters. I think they're very interesting.
That's fine. I'm glad you like the writing style.
I think the opposite of what Scott said. That's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's sometimes writing style works for people and other times it doesn't. It's fine.
Yeah, but...
Yeah.
When certain people state that writing style is bad, when what they mean is, I didn't enjoy it, then they must be corrected.
Bad for me. Anyway, let's move along because I don't want to give that... I don't want to bag that book for what is clearly... It's like licorice to me. Like, some people love licorice. It's not my thing. That's like, I don't want to bag it.
I legitimately don't understand, but that's fine.
Prism. So Prism by Simon, Booktube with Simon and Amy Simon.
The further into this we get, the more enjoyable it is.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
And I'm looking forward to finishing it because I want to know what happens.
Yeah, I tell you what, how many twists do you think he can pack into the last?
468.
I mean, jeez.
Like, if we're going to count.
He's got a lot. If you like a novel that twists and turns...
If you like to guess the number of twists rather than what the twists are, then this is the novel for you.
You know, there's an old stand-up comics thing, which is just keep telling jokes, try and do as many as possible, because if they don't laugh at the first one, you'll probably get them with the second or the third one. I feel like Simon's heard that and gone, twists. But it is
also jokes.
Also jokes.
Like, there are a lot of jokes in the book.
You can take the Simon out of Booktube, but you can't take the Booktube out of Simon. No, wrong way around. I don't know. Anyway, that's just who he is. I've started Burnt Sugar. I'm not terribly...
Every time I see this, the Rolling Stones' Brown Sugar comes into my head.
So good.
Why would you try and sing?
I don't know.
How is this going for you? Do you hate this?
I love this.
Well, that's a good start.
This sounds like it's going to be an absolutely horrible book in the best possible way.
What else?
I'm reading...
Oh, no more books to hand me?
No more books to hand you. I'm still reading my Wheel of Time novel.
Next.
And the last one I have started is Kiley Reid, Such a Fun Age. And I'm loving this one too. This one, it starts off, if you've read it, there's a scene in like a grocery store, and I was getting so angry, and I'm like, why are you getting angry? And I'm like, oh, this is really good writing. And then, so this is a book about racism. And after that scene sort of came to its crescendo, the main character was like not angry. And I was like, but why aren't you angry after that? And then I realized that I was angry because I was a privileged white person putting myself in her shoes. And she
was just exhausted.
And so I really enjoyed having my privilege pointed out to me. Yeah, it was quite the difference in reaction.
Yeah,
like I just you know, like that super mum culture that exists in America, where like you've got to have a business and breastfeed the kids and be skinny and be successful and all of this sort of stuff.
That exists in America.
Well...
You mean the modern expectations of women to be like... insane, yes.
Yeah, but like that there's a really specific, like, goes on juice cleanses and... Like it's a
we call them Dysons, darling. We have a name for them.
Dysons. Yes. That's what it does explore that and the expectations on some of these women as well. They're the white characters.
Mm-hmm.
But I really did enjoy, there was a joke in it where one of the characters has moved from New York to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, one of the ones, and one of their friends said on a phone call, "I'm going to send you a juice cleanse diet down there. Do they have juice cleanse?" "Oh, of course they do. It's not Montana." And I just thought that was hilarious. Yes, so very much enjoying that one.
Well, that's good.
All right.
It's good to know you can enjoy a book.
Yeah, I can enjoy books when they're like tailored to me.
What are you reading next?
I I don't have many plans, but we have, I have a buddy read with Simon from Booktube, with Simon and Amy.
Ooh.
I have Reaper Man by Terry Pratchett. And we have a buddy read with Sam from Paper Not Books.
Is that this month or March? Oh, it's March. Because it's like 2 days.
March is this month. So we need to send Sam a message and organise that. But we're going to read Space Opera by Kathleen M. Valente. Somebody Valente, anyway. Yeah. And I know there's a bunch of readathons in March, but I'm kind of enjoying not having a TBR.
Going week to week.
Yeah, I had quite big TBRs for January and February. I think I'm gonna keep it chill for March, and give myself a month off
before Aussie April hits.
So I've got the 2 buddy reads, and then I've got to read a Libyan and a Mexican book for Invisible Cities. I haven't even
picked them,
so it'll have to be an audio or ebook for both of those.
I do have a one of each on the way.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, so that's my plans. What are your plans?
Got no plans.
Got no plans. Really, it's the same as last week, isn't it?
I really want to focus on finishing the Prophets. And then wherever the mood takes me, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know where that will be because I don't.
Yeah.
It's the whole point of mood reading.
All right. Well, I think this is the longest Friday reads ever.
Yeah, I need to go to bed.
Yeah.
Night. Love you.
Bye.